It is the most wonderful, wonderful time of the year, and whether your holiday season means Christmas and Thanksgiving, or Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa, or whatever other holiday festivities happen during this time of year, the fact of the matter is, it is the time of year that focuses around food, festivities, and fun, and it is usually a very difficult time of the year for people that are trying to live a healthy lifestyle, or especially people trying to cut calories and lose weight. Because it's such a difficult time of year, I thought it might be a good idea for me to hop on here and give you guys some of my most tried and true and best tips to help you survive the entire holiday season. From parties to the Thanksgiving and Christmas tables and everything in between, this time of year is filled with so many opportunities for us to sabotage ourselves. This is the time of year that has been known on more than one occasion to take our work from the first 10 months of the year, January through October, and we can take the last 2 months, November, December, and completely annihilate any progress that we've made the other 10 months of the year. And so the goal this year, my friends, is to not let that happen. So I, along with a couple others from the Weight Watchers community here on YouTube, have put together our top tips to help you survive the holiday season. And after you're done with my video, go ahead and check out the channels down below for their tip videos as well. I'm super excited to check out what they have to say. So between all of us, you will have plenty of tips to help you get through the holiday season without completely ruining your efforts from the rest of the year. So what I have for you today is 21, yes, 21 tips to help you survive the holiday season. I have a couple that I will mention first that are party specific, and then I have some that are just general things to keep in mind throughout the holiday season from now until January 1st. Things that will really help you stay on track, focused on your goals, and just little things that will make sure that you're doing everything you can to make sure you're staying on plan. I'll be honest with you, some of these tips are things you've heard me say once, twice, or a million times before, but all of these tips are things that need reiterating, especially this time of year. It's just something that I want to make sure you have at the forefront of your mind as you are moving through these next handful of weeks and months. So without further ado, 21 tips to help you stay on track, on plan, and healthy this holiday season. My first 5 tips are the party-specific ones, so let's jump in with tip number 1, which is bring your own dish to your gathering. I've said this in several videos before, but I will say it again. When you prepare your own diet-friendly dish, whatever diet plan you're on, Weight Watchers, anything in between, prepare your own dish and bring it to share with the people at the gathering you're going to, because not only does that help you give a healthy option to other people, but it guarantees that there's at least one thing on that table that will be on plan for you, and you can focus on enjoying that in conjunction with other dishes that might not be on plan. On the day of a big party, make sure you eat normally the rest of the day. Have a filling breakfast, have a solid lunch, maybe even have a high protein snack before you go to the event, because the last thing you want to do, the last thing, is show up to a holiday party hungry. You do not want to do that, because the more hungry you are, if you are ravenously hungry, when you walk into a room full of delicious and festive holiday treats, you're going to lose your mind and probably overindulge. If you show up feeling satiated already, you will feel a lot more in control and ready to approach the holiday treats as, yes, they're indulgences, let me partake in a few, but you won't lose your mind. My next tip is to always keep a drink in your hand. At these holiday gatherings, you're frequently up and about and mingling with people, and then you'll have either a drink or a plate of food, typically appetizers or desserts or something, in your hands. My tip for you is to make sure that thing in your hands is always a drink. I don't know about you, but if I have a drink in one hand and a plate of food in the other, oh no, I have no way to actually eat the food. So if I have that drink, it takes over one of my hands, meaning that I cannot feed myself. Now, be smart about what the drink is. I'm not saying have a glass of wine in your hand constantly, because those points, calories, and sugars will add up real fast. But have some club soda, just have a glass of water, or have a light alcoholic beverage every other beverage or something like that. My favorite go-to beverage for alcohol is vodka, soda, splash of cranberry. Not entirely cranberry. Vodka cranberry, odds are you're not going to get access to a diet cranberry juice. It's going to be full sugar, full carb cranberry juice. So I do club soda, which is 0 points, 0 calories. It's just carbonated water with the shot of vodka, and then just enough cranberry juice to give it that pink look to it and that little bit of sweetness that I want from the cranberry juice. It's very low in points. You're just paying for the vodka. And so if you do that beverage in a glass of water, and then if you want another beverage, that's fine, but it keeps your hands busy and you are having a low calorie option to help fill you up, even if it does have a little bit of booze in there. Tip number 4 is for the ladies, and this is what I call the bangle bracelet trick. What you do at your holiday party that you know there are going to be appetizers or treats or little things to enjoy at is you wear, as one of your accessories, bangle bracelets. Say 4, 5, 6 of them, whatever your number may be. You start with them on one hand. The number of bangles that you have on is the number of treats you're allowed to enjoy. So for example, if you go and you have an appetizer of something or other, you will flip one bangle over, and you enjoy 2 pieces of dessert, you'll flip another 2 bangles over, and then when your bangles are all on your other wrist, you're done eating, you're done indulging. Party over. I'm not saying you have to go home, but you gotta quit putting things in your mouth. And it's just a simple way. Nobody is going to notice. Absolutely no one is going to notice if you fidget for 1.5 seconds to flip a bracelet to your other hand. And it's just going to look like you have accessories on, but in your mind, you are keeping track without having to whip out your phone or your tracker or your calorie app. You're keeping track of what you're eating just by using your accessories. And my last tip for the party specific stuff is about leftovers, and it is 2 contradictory tips. My first tip is take home leftovers if it means that you will indulge less in the moment. A lot of us have this, oh my gosh, it's only happening once a year, give me all the things mentality. But if you know, hey, I can take some of this sweet potato casserole and some of this pumpkin pie home, meaning I only need to take a little slice now, that might be very helpful for you to help you kind of extend your enjoyment and not feel the immediate need to indulge in everything all at once, taking home leftovers. But on the flip side, my other tip is don't take home leftovers. If you are like me and you have self-control issues and you taking home 2 extra slices of pie to enjoy at your leisure, and you know that those will both end up being enjoyed at the same time, maybe it's best you don't take home leftovers at all. So whichever person you are, if you are in control of yourself, maybe leftovers is the right option. But if you don't have any self-control at home, especially when you're alone or going through your regular day, maybe leftovers is not for you. So whatever your view on leftovers is, take that tip and do that. And now we have our tips that are just general tips for the rest of the holiday season, starting with keep working out. Continue your normal workout routine. Just because it's the holiday season doesn't mean it's not a Tuesday. Continue doing what you're normally doing. So not only that, maybe you want to keep up your workout efforts. Maybe you should up your workout efforts, work out a little bit harder, knowing that this is the season of more calories, more fat, more sugar, and more fun. But also take the opportunity to find other ways to throw in more movement into your day. Christmas shopping, odds are you're at a mall. Do a lap around the mall before you start shopping, or make sure you're going from store to store at a power walk pace to get those steps in. Go downtown, look at the Macy's Christmas holiday lights and windows. Go see the big Christmas tree and go to the Chris Kindle Mart. I know that's a Chicago thing. I don't know if that's anywhere else in the United States or in the world, but it's in Chicago and I love doing that. And you have to go downtown, walk around and make a day out of doing those holiday festive things. Yes, you can enjoy food, but at least get your movement in while you're at it. Take the family for an after dinner walk after your big meal on Thanksgiving to help burn off the calories and maybe even help aid in the digestion from your overindulgence a little bit. Find little excuses to get more activity in, keep doing your current activity, and maybe up your current activity just a little bit to help you. Here's another one I say in practically every video: water, water, water. It is so stinking important to stay hydrated because it keeps everything moving, keeps everything going, and keeps your body doing what it needs to be doing. More water means you'll start to feel fuller because you've got more stuff in your stomach. The recommended amount of water you drink is half your body weight in ounces of water every day. Get on that. Every single day, try and drink as much water as possible. It's just good for you. No extra junk in the house. It is so very easy for us to see limited edition flavored everything at the grocery store. So what do? If you're me, you take your arm and go, whoa, all of it comes in the cart and all of it goes home with you. Don't do that. If you want to indulge in something limited edition, pick one thing. or 2 things and leave the rest of the junk at the grocery store. If you're typically a family that also buys cookies and crackers and this and that, so you have like 7 different indulgence options and then you pick up some extras, you're just setting yourself up for failure. Keep the limits to 1 or 2 specific items from the grocery store, or you can do what I'm going to do and basically bring nothing home from the grocery store, and your indulgences are things that you get when you go out, a special holiday flavored cupcake or a Starbucks beverage or something like that, where I have to go out and get one and it's not just laying in the house. There will be no limited edition candy coming into this house this holiday season. My one exception will be the iced gingerbread cookies, like the old school ones that are like the little gingerbread men with the little cutout, and then they used to have the little icing just on the outline, like it's almost like a powdery icing. You can't really find them anymore. Trader Joe's makes a good dupe for them, but I usually buy 1 box of little gingerbread men every year. They're my favorite holiday grocery indulgence, and that's going to be it. Everything else is going to be stuff that I enjoy while I'm out. Limit your junk food that comes into your house so your home is a safe haven for you, full of good, healthy choices. Lighten up your favorites whenever possible. The amount of good, rich, indulgent, holiday-flavored goodness that is out in the world this time of year is huge. And so while it's fine, it's totally fine and acceptable to indulge in your favorite things. I'm not going to tell you to not do that. Absolutely not, because I will be. I'll be completely honest with you. But if you can find the option to lighten up some of your favorites, go ahead and do this. My first example and my primary example is the holiday drinks at Starbucks. Now, some of you may or may not know that the skinny peppermint syrup does not exist this year, but by skinny peppermint mocha, you don't exist. You only have a full sugar option. But I am here to tell you I've already figured out how to lighten it up. Skinny regular mocha is an option. So get a skinny regular mocha, and instead of the like 3 or 4 pumps of sugar-laden peppermint syrup, only go with 1. You don't need 4 pumps of peppermint. Trust me, I've already had it this year. 1 pump gives you that peppermint mocha, holiday deliciousness for a fraction of the amount of carbs and sugar that you would normally get if you ordered a peppermint mocha. So find different ways to lighten up some of your holiday favorites where you can, as long as you will still remain satisfied. Keep up your regular eating routine. Outside of your special indulgent meals, your Thanksgiving dinner, your Christmas dinner, maybe a shopping day out with mom that's tradition every year. Generally speaking, breakfast, lunch, and even dinners at home, keep them to be old, faithful, reliable recipes. Even if you have to make the same breakfast every day and the same lunch every day, but you know the points, you know the calories, you know they're high protein, you know they're low fat, it's okay. We're going to be spending enough money on Christmas gifts and meals to prepare for friends and everything like that, and parties this year. So if we have to limit the groceries to just buying 1 breakfast and 1 lunch and make, eat, repeat every single day in a week, that's okay, because it's reliable, it's filling, it's healthy, and you know what you're doing, so you can better approach the indulgences knowing that you have already eaten healthfully the rest of the day, the rest of the week. So stick to reliable favorites, healthy favorites in terms of the rest of your meals. Watch your portion sizes. Guys, you can go up for seconds, so don't take your Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner plate and pile it a mile high because you, again, it's that, oh my gosh, this only happens once a year. Let me overindulge in all the things all at once. Be reasonable. Watch your portion sizes. Measure out your portion sizes. Eat your plate of food, and then if you want to go back for seconds, do it. But if you really think about it, you probably won't want to go back for seconds. I'm just saying, don't overfill your plate on round 1. You can always go back for seconds. Watch your portion sizes. Don't forget the real reason of the season. The whole concept of the holiday season is not about food. It's about spreading Christmas cheer. It's about giving. It's about loving. It's about the birth of Jesus. It is about remembering what you're grateful for. And it is, none of these things are about food. It's about family. It's about friends. It's about love. It's about traditions. It doesn't have to be focused on food. Yes, food is a part of many of our traditions, but that's not the primary focus. I'm just asking you to remember what the real reasons for the seasons are. It's always helpful to know, at least roughly, what the points values, calorie values, and whatnot for the potential items you will see at a Thanksgiving or Christmas table are. I happen to have what I call my Weight Watchers Thanksgiving cheat sheet over on my blog, which I updated to include smart points. Now, It is not updated to include freestyle smart points, but generally speaking, I'm guessing the smart points are going to be about the same. So I will have that link down below. And what it is it's just a long list of items that you would typically see at a Thanksgiving or Christmas table, and the general serving size and the general points value for every item. It's not specific to any particular brand. It's not specific to any particular recipe. This is just, if you're not prepared in knowing exactly the values of what's on your table, this little cheat sheet can give you a rough idea. And having a rough idea is a lot better than having no idea. So I'll have that link down below for you. As a general diet rule, make sure you're focusing more on protein, fiber, and fat instead of carbohydrates and sugar. We don't want to focus on empty carbs, and we don't want to focus on sugar. So as long as a lot of our meals are being focused on protein, fiber, and fat, yes, fat. Fat keeps us fuller, and fat does not make us fat. Odds are it's carbohydrates that are making us fat. And that is something that I can go into in a completely different video. You guys kind of know my general idea of this, and this way of eating for me has been working really well lately, so I'm going to stick with it. But I encourage you to do the same. When you're focused generally on protein, fat, and fiber, and then of course greens, those are the Fab Four, but in knowing that you're going to get plenty of sugar and empty carbs with your indulgences, that again, I'm not telling you to not have, go and have those things, but if you're focused on all of those other things the rest of the time, having those indulgences won't be quite the shock to the system. You want to try and keep your blood sugar as level as possible. So rather than having all of these carbs and sugars and whatnot and indulging in those high sugary things, focus on these other nutrients most of the time and then have your indulgence and everything will balance out in the end. Get enough sleep. When we don't sleep, our diets can get out of control because all we want is energy, and then enter all of the fatty, sugar-laden, quick burst of energy foods that are around this holiday season, and you are setting yourself up for failure. Please, please, please make sure you're getting good, quality, restful sleep. Track everything. It doesn't matter if you're going over every single day. It's still really helpful if you track everything you eat, even if it's a rough estimate, even if it's just to make a mental note. Having something written down in your tracker is going to help give you the overall picture of what you're doing. Are you on track? Are you really out of control? And it will help you gauge where you need to be. Limit your indulgences. Like I said earlier with the whole keep the junk out of the house thing, it's fine to have your indulgences, but I would recommend that you limit them to maybe even once a week or a couple times a week or just on Christmas and Thanksgiving. Whatever works for you, go out and have your one treat and maybe do that once or twice a week instead of constantly going, it's Christmas season, this is an excuse. It's Christmas season, it's an excuse. Let me have these chocolates and these limited edition things and these gingerbread cookies, and oh, let me eat every Christmas cookie that I come in front of, and oh, these people are making things in the break room. It's really easy to let the excuses add up. Limit your indulgences to 1 or 2 a week, or just specific occasions, only when you're out at parties, only when you're at gatherings, whatever works for you, but I highly recommend you actually set a limitation and stick to it. Here's something for you to consider, and that is mild intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is when you eat all of your day's worth of calories within a set period of time. And I'm not saying you have to go extreme intermittent fasting. There are people that eat everything in 6 hours and then use the other 18 hours of the day to be fasting. I'm not talking about doing that, but I personally, I haven't told you guys this yet, but I personally have been doing mild intermittent fasting for the last couple of weeks, and I honestly think it's playing a big part in my weight maintenance / weight loss when, even though I'm eating a little bit more out of control than I would like to be. I'll be the first to admit that. But what I've noticed is my intermittent fasting window is from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So I usually try to push off breakfast as late as I can, and if I can get to at least 9 o'clock, that's great, and then kitchen closes at 9 p.m. So I'm giving my body 12 hours on of eating food and 12 hours off. 12 hours to fully digest and fully use up the nutrients that I gave it the 12 hours prior. And that has really seemed to have been helping me maintain my weight or even lose some extra weight, even though I've been eating in a way that I'm not quite so proud of as of late. And that in and of itself is pretty shocking to me, I'm not gonna lie. So I encourage you to maybe consider doing a little bit of just mild intermittent fasting. Maybe like me, you do 9 to 9, because we don't really need to be eating past 9 p.m. anyway, do we? Or 10 to 10, something like that. Just give your body a break and the opportunity to digest the food. Just giving your body the break and the opportunity to fully digest everything you put in it is really good for it and really helps your body use the nutrients that it needs to use and helps it get rid of the extra stuff. My next tip is just an honest tip. Don't expect yourself to be perfect this holiday season. The second you tell yourself, I'm not indulging in anything, I am going to have a perfect holiday season, I am going to lose 15 pounds during this holiday season. The second you say that, but then don't do it, you're in big trouble. Because mentally, when we fail at a goal we've set for ourselves, the motivation to keep going starts to go phew, and really just fall and bottom out. And that's what happens for a lot of us in the holidays. Be realistic. You're going to indulge. You're going to enjoy something. There is a tradition out there of some kind that you want, and that's okay. Just make sure you understand that you're not going to be perfect. You might do a bang up job and be really, really good and on point this holiday season, but you're not going to be perfect. Accept that, prepare for that, and you're going to set yourself up for success mentally. I have 2 more tips for you, and this next one might shock a couple of you, but I really, really urge you to do this, or at least to consider this, and that is this. Consider switching to maintenance mode. Just for the holiday season. It's just 2 months. And let's be honest, we don't worry about the fact we're not losing weight during the holiday season. We worry about the fact that we gain weight during the holiday season. So instead of setting your goal super high and saying, I am going to lose weight this holiday season, which if you are, and I mean, I hope to, but I'm realistic, I might not, that's okay. If that's your goal, good for you, more power to you. But why not make a more realistic goal and set yourself up for more success by saying, I'm going to maintain my weight this holiday season. Put your weight loss on hold, maintain, don't gain, and pick it back up in January. It's okay if you need to do that. Now, this tip might not be for everybody, and it might not even be for me. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. My body's actually pretty good at maintaining if I'm kind of messing around with my weight loss efforts to begin with, so that might be where I'm at. I might be in weight loss mode, but the indulgences end up equaling out to maintenance, which is totally okay with me. But I urge you to consider it. If weight gain is something you struggle with during the holiday season because you're so gung-ho on losing weight that you just go the opposite direction, consider putting yourself on maintenance mode. It allows you to have some extra calories, it allows you to have some extra points, and you're not focused on the scale going down. And that might be just what you need to survive the holiday season and not gain any weight. And my last tip for you to survive this holiday season on a diet is this. Remember that Thanksgiving and Christmas are both only one day. So even if you wake up on Thanksgiving and you go, I'm going to enjoy everything today. I'm going to indulge on Christmas all day today. There's chocolate in my stocking, there's good things that show up, blah, 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 whatever the situation may be. If you walk into Thanksgiving or Christmas and you just don't care about tracking and you don't care about calories, that's fine. Do it, go for it, more power to you, but remember this, it's one day. Which means Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, or the day after Christmas, you're back on track. That day is over, the indulgence is done. Pick yourself back up, have a healthy breakfast, start the day fresh, and get back on the wagon. I really feel like knowing that it's just one day, and even if I overindulge that one day and really enjoy my Thanksgiving meal and really enjoy everything that Christmas Day offers in my family, and knowing that I can wake up the next day and be like, that's fine, it's done, you don't have to worry about it anymore, moving on. It really does take some of the pressure of trying to survive that day off. You don't have to try and survive that day if you don't want to. It's entirely up to you. But just remember that they are one day apiece, not 2 months. That's all you gotta remember. If that one piece of advice is all you remember, remember that the holidays are one day and not the entire season, and you will be very, very surprised at how different your eating habits are with just that simple mind switch. And there you go. Those are my 21 tips to help you stay on track and healthy this holiday season. As I mentioned earlier, there are a few other ladies that are offering up their best tips to help you stay on track this holiday season, so make sure you check out their videos linked down below. If you have any tips for how to survive the holiday season on a diet, please, please, please comment below and let us all know, because I know there are a ton of other tips that I didn't even think of yet. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the little subscribe button down there so you get notified every time I upload some more tips and tricks for you. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. Take care, have a healthy and happy holiday season, and I will see you next time.